Belfort, yes, Mr. Belfort was the one they were trying to predict, or rather, it was his life they were predicting. And he had this process, which is a straight line. Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio acted the movie, but it was a tell by the original, let me get his name out, person properly, that they were trying to depict was Jordan Belfort. Yes, Jordan Belfort. Right. And they have gone in different ways to talk about the straight line theory, how to sell a pen, you know. And one thing that happened when they interviewed Jordan Belfort, they asked him a simple question. They said that, when do you get to that particular point? And he gave an example that he entered the room, they were going to pitch for a particular business, and they gave all of them the handouts that they should read and get ready. So most people came in, they read, and then they flipped through it, and then they left. When they came in and they asked him, he said, okay, give me a few minutes. It's okay, they came back after a few minutes, he said, no, give me 30 minutes. Came back again, he said, give me another few minutes. What was he doing? He was studying the material very well. Studying the material very well before he went into the room to deliver. So I'll ask everybody here, right? Do you study your material? Do you study your products? Do you study your markets? I'll ask again. Do you study your material? Do you study your products? Do you study your markets? If you do that, type markets. Type markets. If you do that, type markets. The essence why I asked you to type is so that we know we are together. Else I can just be running the webinar off the call. Okay. You know, it's quite interesting when you want to sell a product or how you want to sell a product, or if you want to sell a product, and yet you're not sure if you're ready to sell the product or how you want to sell the product, or if you're ready to sell the product. People believe that, oh, I have a fantastic product, I need to sell it. That the market needs this, and then you sell it. Or you see friends in the market selling a particular product, I want to sell it. But now we're trying to tell you how the product rolling off your shelf. What are the things you need to do in order for those products to go off the shelf? I gave the story of Jordan Belfort. I'd like everybody to go back and check that straight line theory. You know, just a straight line from one point to the other point. He explained it very simply, right? But the first basis is understanding the markets, which is your market research. Know your product, know your markets, know your product, know your markets. All right. Before I start, this one by I believe his name was, the depiction he did was very nice and I loved it. His name is Dan Locke. I want to set it up here so that you can see it. Just like a 7-minute video. So I'd like you to just watch it and then we'll all go through this. Oh, it's not highlighted. Still not highlighted. Can we check, Musa, can you check the approvals on that admin? You know, where you share sound and share video, to give approval to share sound and share video. All right.
Okay.
Quite interesting when we have this and then we cannot share sound and we cannot share videos. Okay,
We try it now. Let's see.
let me check it. No, it's still blank. Still not available. The option is still not available. It's not highlighted. What this simply means is if I try to share it, it will not come off.
Try it one more time.
Let me put this up here so you see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Is it audible?
No.
Okay, I hear that there's still no volume. I hear that there's no volume. Our says there's no volume. Incredible. So there's no, I think we need to find a way of rectifying that process. The first thing he brought out though was why people buy. People buy emotions and then justify it with logic. Before you buy emotions, what kind of person are you? What kind of business are you selling? Are you good at your business? Do you understand why? Do you understand why you're selling your products? What is your connection with your people? What's your connection with the marketplace? You know, there are a lot of people, they go into the market, they want to buy a product. They have not probably, let me put it this way, right? You go into the market, you want to buy, let's say, a handbag. You get very well with the handbag. Your budget is to buy the handbag, but you have seen it. You've seen that at least it goes with the bag. I can use it with the bag, right? But the difference there is this. Why do people actually buy? And then how can you sell? So now go back to when you now understand why people buy, then now go back to how can you sell to those emotions? How do you sell to these senses? How do you sell to the people? Why do people want to buy your product and not the next person's product? But aside from the first, the basic parts that most people don't like to do, the basics, the ground level, the fundamentals. What is the basics? What is the ground level? What is zero? What is ground zero for? Is sales. The first level is your market research. Yes, you heard me. You have to do the work first. What does the market need? Not what do you want to sell. What does the market need? You want to sell a product? Yes. Does the market want it? You want to sell laptops? Does the market want it? You want to sell phones? Does the market want it? You want to sell clothes, kaftan, ready to wear? Does the market want it? You want to sell hats, as they say, Maiduguri style hats? You want to sell them? But the question is, does the market want it? So have you done your research? In some cases, you do your research, you believe that this product that you want to sell is the best product in the market, it gives all the value. But what you're selling, is it for Lagos markets? Is it for Kano markets? Is it for the African markets? Is it for the global markets? That is where the work now starts. All right? That is where the work starts. So are you ready to do the research? Have you done the research? Have you done the work? The reason why I'm taking my time on this particular topic is this is what we hate to do. We want to sell, especially here in Africa, but we don't want to do the background work. And background work is where the money is, right? You do the background work, and then immediately the product comes out, it's rolling off the shelf. Ask yourself, why did that Apple sell so much? Why? Why does that Apple sell so much? Okay, so we have this going on. So first off, I know I went straight into the market. I went straight into the market because I just couldn't wait. So this is where we're starting, business sales strategies. Why I did also highlight it into 10 minutes, that make it as simple as possible. One thing, this 1 hour seminars is it's in a hard level, it's a hard sell to sell all the products, or rather to sell all the steps within 1 hour, or to tell you how to go from fundamentals, rather from the basics to a professional. It's always hard to get everything done. Okay. So the first things first is this simple framework, step-by-step model, so you can see it. Your market research, target audience, value proposition, building your trust. Trust is very critical, it's very, very valuable. Lead generation, initial contact, needs assessment, solution presentation, objection, and closing. But I'll highlight this. I'll also try and break it down further so that we can get to the bottom of this, right? First off, let's know the market. This is what I was talking about. Know your market, research, and validation. Know your market. How do you know it? You do market research and validation. Okay. Like we mentioned, how do you know your product is right for the market? How would you know if your market is ready to receive the product? How do you know all these things? Right? How would you know if you have not done research? And then when you now do the research, how do you get it? There's a particular product that came out some time ago, and yes, and they were asking a simple question. Why, what is it with the market? The name of the bottled water was Sebon. Most bottled waters come up with blue bottles, blue covers, and theirs was green. Now with a green cover, a green logo. Why? They had done their market research and found out that the color was more applicable to the eye and it shows a sense of belonging to the market. And then they changed the color of their brand and they stood out instantly in the market. Why is it that they did that? Why did they adopt the color against what the market had actually delivered? Very simple. They did their market research, even into colors, what people needed, the size of the bottles. They did their market research. The question comes back, have you done your market research? How often or how deep is your market research? Do you understand what the pain points are? Are you sure that the demand you want to serve is valid or is something you have created for yourself? And at the same time, Is there a demand for the product, right? There's demand for the product. And then once you're now running the surveys, I give free tools. You can use Google Forms, Facebook, Audience Insights, and the likes to check your validations. But first off, you need to be able to get that correct. Once you can get that right, you'll be okay. Go into the market, do your market research, get the numbers, so you can tell how much are people willing to pay for these products. Do they really need these products? Why do they need these products? Right? Same thing with solar panels, solar fans, DC, or you decide to go for food. What kind of food do people want to buy? What kind of food do people want to eat? Do they want to eat rice, spaghetti, swallow? What do they want to eat? Or what kind of proteins do they like? And the north versus the east depends on your location. If you have an idea in Nigeria and you transport that same idea to the high possibility that that same business will fail. Because the reception of the market in Nigeria is different from the market in the US. And the background and upbringing of those in Nigeria is different from those in the US. And most importantly, depends on the culture and the location which you're opening this particular business tells a lot. So have you done your market research? As it's very important for you to understanding how important this particular aspect is. It's number one, but this is the foundation of your business, which everybody always misses, especially in the local markets. I will seriously emphasize it. Know your markets, conduct your market research, right? And that's why you said that the first step to success to give them, right? What's the same? I want to give them, let's see, I want to give them laptops, the best laptops in the world, the best laptops we can buy. That's what you want to give them. But the market is telling you that what we need is basic laptops that we can just do our day-to-day work. So instead of importing a laptop that costs you probably 1 million naira or 3,000 pounds or $3,000 as the case may be, whereas the market needs laptops that just cost 500,000, 300,000 or $200 or $300. That's what the market needs. So imagine you go and bring in such sophisticated laptop. Yes, the market needs laptops, but not the type you have in mind. And the reason why I missed this particular factor is because you do not listen to the market. There's this popular saying, right, which is, as a businessman, you don't sell what you want. You don't sell what you like. You sell what the market wants and what the market demands. That is where the business comes to play. Not what you want, not what you like, not if you like it. All right? And that's what Kevin Stewart said. He said it very simple. He said the first step to success in any business is to ask your customers what they want, right? And that can only come through once you have the customer survey done properly with good market insights. And said to find your ideal customer. So what's your ideal customer? Who do you want to sell to? Where does he live? What does he have? What does he want? Right? Simple. I give you a very simple outlines. What does he want? What does he need? Well, first off, before you can define what he wants and what he needs, who is he? Who is he? Or who is she? Right? Who? Who is your ideal customer? You need to develop the customer profile, which is identify the potential buyers. Who are the people that like to buy your products? Somebody that wants to buy, let's put it this way, somebody that wants to buy a Samsung phone is not somebody that wants to buy an iPhone. Somebody that wants to buy a Maserati is not somebody that wants to buy a Toyota. They are two different markets. Somebody that's in the market for aeroplanes is not the same person that's in the market for a Rolls Royce, right? And that's why I say that for Rolls Royce, a good example with Rolls Royce, let me use Rolls Royce, right? When I found out how they sell their market was just phenomenal. Rolls Royce, right? When they're selling the markets, their products rather, they sell their products at airplane shows because of how expensive and the luxury and the comfort it brings. And once you drive up to your private jet, you come out of a Rolls Royce. So imagine you're selling private jets, and then You now have a Rolls Royce there. So the first question you ask is, what is the Rolls Royce doing with private jets? What do they have in common? The price tag and the comfort, right? So when somebody is about to spend millions of dollars on a jet, how much is a Rolls Royce compared to jets? You just buy it easily. Okay. So same thing with accessories for devices. Where are you selling? Who is your ideal market? Have you developed the avatar, the customer profile, the person? What is the age range of the people that are coming to buy your product? Where do they live? What do they do? What do they need this product for? By the time you have this demographic, then you cannot go back to the tools like LinkedIn, like Facebook, and now skew what you want, defining the customers you want and the locations where they are, and then feed it in, and it will give you the exact people you should target. So that way you don't just send your products out. But I don't send your market, your, your marketing communications aimlessly. You target it properly, business, location, and tech access. Those you are targeting. All right. And then what's your value proposition? Is the benefits or promise a brand or product or service will bring or do for its customers that is mostly unique to the brand? So what is it that is about your brand that is unique to you that you bring to the customer? What's your value proposition? This answers the questions, why should they buy from me? Why should they buy from me? You want to sell to them, but the question is the other way. Like I mentioned in the beginning, why should they buy from me? So everybody that is here on the chat room, ask yourself that simple question and then tell me in the chat room. For those that have access to the chats, those on YouTube, write it there. Why should they buy your product? Look at your products. Do you sell food? Do you sell devices? Do you sell trainings? Do you sell coaching? Do you sell fans? Do you sell solar? What do you sell? Then ask, then write it in the chat room. I don't need to write it in chat room, just write it down. I give you a minute to write it there. Why should they buy from you? Why should they buy from you? For Nike, an example, Nike says that Nike's value proposition revolves around inspiring athletes and individuals to achieve their personal best through accessible, innovative, and high-performance products. Right? That's for Nike. Then see Dangote says that Dangote's proposition is particularly through the group, centers on providing basic needs and empowering communities through impactful, socially responsible businesses. So once you understand the value proposition, what makes your, why you are selling to the customers, why they should buy from you, then you're now ready for the next level. All right. Then you localize your value proposition. Okay. How many of you have done that exercise? Okay, Fatima says solving their problems. Brilliant. That's where it starts from. That's the beginning. You know you want to solve their problem. That is, but question now, you need to be you need to personalize your value proposition. Solving their problem is very general because as a product or as a business person, your products are meant to solve a problem, right? That's why you're in business. Somebody has dirty clothes like Viva, from Aspira. What are you doing? What are they doing? They are solving the problem of cleaning. Somebody is selling a device. What is this solving? The problem of communication. Somebody is selling lights. What's the problem is solving? Solving the problem of illumination. So whatever business you are bringing up, you're solving a problem, but you need to ask yourself, what kind of problem are you solving? And that's why you have white lights, yellow lights, off-white lights, dim lights, blue lights, colored lights. Each of the colors is solving a particular problem. So you need to ask yourself, what is my business? What problem is my business solving? All right? So when you get to that, you need to be able to localize it. You localize your value proposition. How do you put it in such a way that people can understand? What is the culture in Africa? It's not the same way you sell in Europe. Neither is it the same way you sell in Asia, right? So when you localize, you need to localize it to the markets What are you selling now? Who are you selling to? And why should they buy from you? Right? So for Viva, the value proposition centers around its ability to effectively remove stains, protect colors, and leave the clothes with a pleasant fragrance. Right? That's a value proposition. Okay? When you understand that, remember the culture and the economic context for your products. All right? Remember, good. And once you can sell this properly, you move to the next level. All right? As you move to the next level. If you have not paid attention, pay attention here. As you see, gather here. Build trust by your community. This brings two parts, right? First is you need to create a community of people that trust you, right? You need to create a following. You need to create a membership system. People that trust your product, people that trust you, people that keep buying from you. One thing that what's his name again? JP, what's his name? Jean Paul. He's into cosmetics, right? He said something. He said, "What you want, you don't want somebody that buys once. Don't that buys once. You need repeat customers. Somebody that will come, love your product, invest in it, come back, take it as a lifestyle. And the only way you can do it is by building trust. Yes, trust is one. Trust means the same thing across the world. When you have your trust, you have your integrity, people will come back. People will join your community. People will be die hard for your brand, right? And they will sell your brand on your behalf. So your credibility tells a lot. Leverage on all the aspects you have. Social media is a fantastic way, but remember, it must be tied to your value proposition, why they should buy from you. You partner with organizations, whether your local churches, your mosques, your societies, your organizations, your businesses, whatever it is, partner to gain leverage. An example that we give here was from Fantel Business School and the exclusive mentorship program which I run, right? Why are we here? Fantel Business School is creating these free online seminars for you to patronize, for you to come in and get values. You have become a member of the community. So you come and get these free webinars, you share information, and then you also improve your business. Once you do that and you trust the value that Fantel is bringing to you, then you can now register for a course, right? Same thing with the exclusive mentorship program on Clubhouse and as a program for mentoring. Simple tools you can use, I put it there, right? There's no power for change greater than a community. No power for change greater than a community. Discovering what it cares about. And then alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Alone you do so little. And this is where you have, how do I put it, the power of communities coming together. You have the power of communities coming together. Once you have a strong brand, you have a strong community, everybody comes together. At this point, I'll go into the chat room to get a few responses, right? We have, okay, Maria says for her value proposition was reducing fashion waste and yet maintaining the unique, fabulous fashion style through modest wears. Brilliant. Bashir says providing solution always pray for hungry customers. I like that. So that way they keep coming back, right? Brilliant. What works for you counts and depends on the kind of business that you are pushing forth. But remember, once you can serve your community properly and very well, they always keep coming back. All right. Next, in order to get full value, how do you leverage technology? How do you leverage AI? Very simple. It's not everything that requires money. A few platforms you can use. WhatsApp business, you can use it to sell your market. Telegram business, you can use it for your market. Google My Business, you can use it for your market. These are tools I can use free of charge. In for another one that's, I think it was some Pesa. First question is, are you ready? But use low leverage technology. I'm using this format because I want to take it that most people are into business, starting business, but not at the level they want to get to. So I'm trying to, so this presentation was done such that we have the easiest entry points, the most affordable entry points, and the flexible entry point that you can actually use. I believe everybody uses WhatsApp, so you can use WhatsApp business. Use Telegram. You can also use Telegram, depends on the capacity and the size of your market. And I'll ask another question, right? How many business owners on this platform has taken the pain to send a video message, a short video, maybe 10 seconds or 30 seconds, or a WhatsApp message to every contact on their phone? Oh, my name is Rahim. I'm into the business of training and coaching. You can take your phone, put a selfie up there, just say, hey, hello, my name is Rahim. I'm into executive coaching. You can reach me on this number. I'm sorry, I'm coming to your DM. I just need you to understand the kind of business I do. I help people move from where they are to where they desire to be. I'm an executive coach. I'm reliable, I'm trusted. And most importantly, your names are on my contact list. Sorry if I'm barging into your DMs, but I need you to experience the kind of business we do and try to see if we can help you. If you feel offended, I'm sorry about it, but I really appreciate you. Just come and try one coaching course with me, and then I'll see how we can take it up from there. And if you're not interested, please refer to somebody that you know might need it. Bam, you send it. If you have done this and sent it to all your contacts, let's start with what you have. Don't start with what you don't have. If you have done this before and sent to all the contacts on your phone, all the WhatsApp contacts, all the Telegram contacts, all the saved numbers on your phone, say I in the chat room. And now you say that you're ready for business. The numbers on your phone, you have not told them the kind of business that you're doing, right? The numbers on your phone, you have not told them the kind of business you're doing. All I said is say I. If you have done this, all the contacts that you have, the one you can control, not looking for lead generation, not looking for anything, but just the numbers you can control. If you have sent your business to all these people, just type I in the chat room. Or you can raise your hand and let's see. This is the easiest, the low-hanging fruit. The question now you ask is, you're looking for markets. Why haven't you done this? It's not just by putting on your status. No, status is easy. You don't get rejection. You don't get a kickback. Status is easy. But taking the pain, 5 hours to send these messages to everybody in your contacts. And you sit down there and you tell yourself that today I am not standing from here until I have done that. Mariam says she has done it fantastic. Halima says she has done it brilliant. That's where it starts from. Every single body, every single person in your contacts. There were some people will kick back, some will not respond. I think 5,000 people right there, ready markets, and they don't know what you're doing. There's no business that is done if people don't know what you're doing. So leverage on it, leverage it, very critical. Okay, so that's where it starts from. Leverage low technology, the one you have. And then what else? What are the challenges? Ask yourself, very, very simple. As much as you can ask yourself the right questions. Ask in what else? What are the challenges I'm facing? What are the challenges other people are facing? What are the things I can actually solve? And then you put it together. But you need to ask yourself and go to the rudiments of the questions. You know, and then by the time you go to the question, you see all these people that are frustrated. We need to, how can I help you? How do we handle this? A simple example, Fantel Business School, how do you read their teams? People don't like attending trainings. They don't like attending seminars, even free, right? Because this room will be filled to capacity. In the north, why is it that it's not filled to capacity and it is free? Every facilitator that comes here, right? If you know the billings per hour, these classes will be filled up. You not take it lightly. And this is what Fantel is giving you free of charge twice a week. All you need to do is come in, check it, go back and apply. Come in, attend the classes, go back and apply. All right? So the question now is, you have people that are frustrated. Your books are not adding up. The numbers are not adding up. The customers are not coming through the door. You are getting frustrated. Then you look at your screen What's that phrase? The math is not mathing. Yes, the math is not mathing, right? So what is the next level? Ask the other questions, right? Very simple. Who are my competitors? Do you know them, right? What are their strengths? How are they driving their sales? What can I do differently? When do I scale or how do I scale my business? Simple. When the math is not mathing, when you're having all these challenges, what are the questions you ask? These are a few questions you can ask yourself. Then you need to do the work. You need to do the work. That's why I said the most important aspect of driving sales is understanding and engaging with your customers. So do the work first. So come back here, right? You come back here. When you have when you're asking yourself what the challenges, what are the other challenges, and you're trying to find out the solutions to the market, you now come and see the frustrated customers, and then you're asking them, how can you handle their sales problems now? Same thing fast Fantel business school, how do you solve this problem in the north? And then you ask yourself the basic questions about your competition, what are they doing, how they are getting ahead, and then you now come back to do the work. The most important aspect of driving sales is understanding and engaging with your customers. Some people on their Instagram handle, on their Facebook profile, they have a lot of customers, a lot of fans. Remember, fans are not customers. Fans are not customers. So don't get carried away by follows, likes, and think that they're your customers. They may be your fans, but those that actually buy is the difference. All right. So do the work. And one thing again is this: once you have done that work, you engage with them. We explained. Question is, how do you make payments easy? Somebody wants to do business with you, make the payment easy. Remove any form of purchase barrier from them so that they can pay. They don't want to stress themselves. They've gotten to the point that they have agreed, yes, I want to pay. You now tell them before you pay, open open this tab, click this on this page, go to this one, click away. So once they want to pay, they pay easy before they change their mind and move to the next available option. You address any objections they may have, check the RIs and all that. And then you close with a social proof and you follow up. Okay. What this presentation is actually doing for you, right? It's very simple. And that's what I wanted to get from everybody. I don't come and tell you, oh, you must sell like this, you must do that. Where I'm going to is the emotional aspect of it, right? If you can understand why you sell, how you sell, who you sell to, the customer market, it makes life easy for you. So part of the sales, which are some principles I break out here, is trust and integrity. If you have a great relationship, people buy people. They don't buy the products. They buy people. They buy the people selling. Be flexible, right? Be flexible. If online is not working for you, go offline. If a physical store is not working for you, go online. There are different ways to be flexible. The essence is how do you get your markets, how do you get your product to market? You leverage on the mobile. Right now, 84% of Africans use mobile phones first, right? So how do you get your products to them? The SMS blasts, their broadcast messages you can actually use. Leverage on mobile. Localize or lose your language, currency. I was in a neighboring country last week and I learned this firsthand, right? Imagine you're in a country, you don't speak the language, they don't understand foreign currency, they don't understand, they don't, your SIM is not working in a different country. And then you are there very educated, very enlightened, very exposed. But within that environment, zero, you cannot relate to anybody. It will make you appreciate the power of humanity, right? When you struggle to communicate and you struggle to get a lot of things done, only for you to later backtrack and now understand that there's some basic principles that are hidden. When people come and tell you about language barriers, it happens within your country, within your state. People speak your language, they may speak their local dialect, and you are speaking English. How do you communicate? They may have foreign currency, they may have the local currency. How do you do business? They want to do the business, but the barriers are too much. Remove those barriers for them, right? And then understand the culture. of the people. Very, 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 very critical. Understand the culture of the people. Okay. And that being said, right, I always say something. Always remember to read great books. Always remember to read great books. I want to read great books to increase your acumen. All right. One of the books I also recommend for this is Psychology of Selling. I didn't include it here. Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy. And then How to Sell Anything to Nigerians. The fantastic book. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? So at this point, I'd like to call on the moderator.
Yes. Thank you very much for this informative, enlightened, and educative presentation. Um, I want to believe that we've gained a lot, and it's a Q&A session now. So if you have a question, you can just raise up your hands, then we'll unmute you so you can ask. If you like to use the chat box or the Q&A, please pop the
And
questions
while
in.
you're still checking about questions, okay, while you're still checking on that, since we have another 5 minutes to go, while you're working on that, I also like to add a few things, right? One thing is this, right? When you want to sell, how do you sell and who do you sell to? And then why do you sell? How do you identify somebody wants to buy? At the beginning, the video I was playing earlier by Dan Locke was that people buy emotions. I'll give you a good example. At the time I met one of my aunties, she was trying to sell Adire, these tops, locally made tops. And she says that the market was not moving, people were not buying and all that. So I went to see her that day and I was discussing with her. She says she was explaining to me that this is challenge. And since that's what I do naturally, sales. So I said, okay, what are the products? I asked her what are the strong points, what the product was about, the benefits, how I can use it and all that. Fantastic. She was selling it in the university. So I stood by her side and then I took one of the products. Somebody came in, walked over and looked at it and was about to walk away. When I was about to walk away, I asked him, I said, wow, I saw Farrell, what color do you like best? He looked, that look in his eyes, that smirk, as in, what has color got to do with this? So what color do you like best? He told me. I said, okay. I said, do you like looking good? And he smiled. Since they are tops, I said, what color would you like for trousers? And he looked at me again and he smiled. I said, is he seeing anyone? Or was he in a relationship? Then he busted out laughing. He said, yes, he was in a relationship, but it was over. I said, okay. I said, you like, I believe it was red, he said he liked. I said, okay, well, how would you like to wear this shoe? Red Adire combination, right? With your black pants and your shoes. And then see how it fits you properly, elevating the kind of person and your assets. How would you look or how would you feel when your ex sees you looking this good? And then he smiled and said, yes, give me one shirt. What did I sell to? I sold his emotions. He said, no, no, give it to me. And he paid for it immediately. Just the thoughts of having his ex have a challenge, seeing him looking good was all he needed to buy. I did not tell him the shirt does this, the shirt does that, the shirt is made here, the shirt is made there, you know, the material is this, the thread is this, the designer. I didn't give him all that. All I told him is what the shirt will do for him, which was the problem he wanted to solve, right? So when I solved the problem for him, he bought. So when you talk about solving a problem and when you're selling a product, you sell only on the qualities or do you sell the solutions? You sell to the emotions, you sell to the senses. Some people are feelers, some people are seers. Depends on the type of sense that they have. or which one is their primary senses. Some people when they're talking, they always talk about how they feel. Some will tell that, man, I see through. Some will tell I cannot hear you. So you can tell some people that say I cannot hear what you're saying, they are auditory. Those that say, man, I need to see a picture. Those ones are visual. So those that tell that, oh man, I need to feel, I can't feel what's going on. Those are kind of statics people. So you need to understand how to sell. So when you put all these dynamics into play, and then you can sell to these emotions in your demography or your target market, the products will be rolling off the shelf. All right. I try to put everything basically in one. Even with this slide presentation, you said I just gave some few examples of some free products you can actually use. Thinking of the digital platforms, AI tools that you can actually use. All right there. But most importantly, once you're selling, the most important thing I would tell you is get the fundamentals, understand the market, know your market very well. Know your market, know what the market wants, then now know how to present it to the people that are buying it. Develop your customer avatar, right? Get to customer avatar very well. Who is the person that's going to buy your product? And then what's your value proposition? Measure all this together. You have a sure product, you have a sure solution, and the market will accept you. All right.
Thank you for that masterclass. Um, we have a question in the Q&A. It's coming from Mr. Bashir Dauda Fanda. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this educative presentation. I would like to know how to select a very successful business. Thank you.
This is interesting and quite generic. Everybody wants to do a business and wants to do a successful business. There are two different parts of it. First part, they'll tell you that do what you're passionate about. And some will tell you go to the market, you can look for a product that you can actually sell. What I'll say is look for where they intersect. What you like and what the market wants. If you can get that seamlessly, you'll be good to go. But first off, like I said, do your market research. Conduct surveys. You can use Google Forms. You can use WhatsApp polls. Conduct surveys. What does the market want? If you're depends on your location does it have to do with clothing? Is it a very cool place? Is it a temporary place? Is it the time of the month that is very, or the time of the year that is very cold, or the time of the year that is very hot? What are the products that are moving in the market right now? Or like, for example, this is the celebration season. What is moving in the market? Is it the feeds? Is it the cattle, the camels, the sheep? You check. Is it the clothing? Is it the material? You check. Some products are seasonal. Some products are yearly. So you need to check which one works for you first. And also depends on the area which you're coming from. So by the time you do all that properly, you now be very sure about what the kind of business you want to go in. But like I always say, look for what you're passionate about, and then look for where it intersects with what the market really wants. All right? Brilliant. Bashir, thanks for that question. Okay. If we can get that lovely blend, it makes perfect sense. What the market wants versus to what you're passionate about. So once you can get that intersection, it makes perfect sense. But first off, do your market research and know your market first. All right?
Thank you for that precise and concise answer. The floor is still open for Q&A. If you have a query that you want clarification, you can either raise your hands up so we can let you speak or pop it in the chat box.
I think the presentation was self-explanatory and very simple. So I guess that's why we have limited responses. Okay, Bashir is back in the chat room again. Okay, what are the three top habits of high performance salespeople or sales teams? And then how do I shorten my sales cycle without losing quality leads? And then how can I transition situations? For your three top habits is prospecting, right? First is you need to know how to prospect. What is prospecting? Looking for leads, looking for new clients, looking for new customers. It has to be in your DNA, right? Knowing how to prospect. The second one I'll tell you is dealing with rejections. You need to know how to deal with rejections because everybody you prospect may not buy from you. So you need to know how to deal with rejections. And then you need to have a strong value position. Once you have these three in place, you'll be very good. For me, these are the top three. Prospecting, dealing with rejection, and then what they call it, a strong value proposition. How do I shorten my sales cycle without losing quality leads? It depends on the value proposition that you have and the products that you're selling. That is what you actually depend. That's what you take this one into consideration. You want to shorten your sales cycle. First, what is the supply chain? You need to understand that. What's supply chain? What are the things that are unexpected? For every sales cycle, there are 7 stages you need to follow through. So first in place is what are the stages that you have before we can shorten it. You need to know what your stages in your sales cycle are. So once you now know the sales cycle that you have, is it 7, is it 5, is it 10, is it 15? Then we can shorten it. And that's why I wanted to show you that video. So you can run your sales cycle from beginning to the end, from prospecting to close. And so that once you get to the close, some people don't will have sold the product, but they forget to close. Where they are supposed to close, they now open it up again and start off. And that discourages the market. That's if you're doing one-on-one sales. And how can I transition from product focused selling to value-based selling? I always say this, value-based sales is always better than product-based sales anytime. Value, always sell value. And that's why you need to have your value proposition. So transitioning from product-based to value-based, what are the core values of the business? And what are the core values of the company? And how does that infuse into your products? So when you're selling the products, like the example I gave, you don't sell the product, you sell the value of the product. By the time you stop selling the product as an item, for example, let me see, what do you like, Bashir? Give me an example of what you like. Anything, any product, even if it's your product, give it to me. You can unmute and just say it. So that can really resonate with you. Books, good. So how do you, some people will tell you, let me see which books. Let's say I have a book now to sell. All right. Let's call it Psychology of Selling by Brad Tracy so that you can read after this. Right. And I'll tell you, this book was written by the best or one of the best authors. He has over 80 books in the market. The book is in a hardcover. It's a simple read of 200 pages. By the time you pick up this book, it lasts forever. You can give it to all your sales team. Everybody should read it. By the time they finish reading this book, you'll be sure that the value and the amount the book is going for is just $20 or 20,000 naira, as the case may be. Right? So take this book and read it, and it's the best book you can ever have. Look at it, it's studied, it's made with the best papers in the world. Once you see the typography, in short, the grammar was edited by Grammarly. Take the book, and it's the best product for you. And then somebody comes else, and somebody else comes to come and tell you that I see you're in the business of selling, right? How do you sell your markets? Or how do you sell your products? Yes, oh, that's how I sell it. How many do you sell? Oh, really? That's how many you sell. Okay, that's interesting. Who's your target market? So okay. I said, how do you like to sell all your products consistently every day for the next 15 days? Oh, now to be the best salespeople that are in the market, such that once they go into the market, they come back with your products fully sold. So really, okay. And at the same time, would you like a product that you can only buy once and don't have to buy it again? Such that by the time you have it, all you just need to do is revisit and then you are on autopilot sales. I said, oh yes. So there's a book that I have. Everything you need to know about sales is right there. One copy is enough for all of you to use. By the time you're done, every other person have a copy. How many do you And that is the difference. And before you can sell value, you need to understand what the product is, and you need to understand what the market wants. So once you understand what the market wants, you sell based on value, based on the value proposition for the product. And that's how you transition. All right. And that's what transition with books. So you bring out the value, not to the book itself. Like the same example I gave you with the red young man bought the other day. All right. Hope that sorts you out, Bashir. And thanks for that quality question. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have a question in the Q&A box. Um, Mr. Saidu Jibril says, what is the best way to price a service-based business, like a business consultancy business?
Okay. Now, this is an interesting question. When you're pricing a service-based business, there are different ways you can actually price it. Okay. First off, I'll say two things. One is know your value and know your worth. Know your value and know your worth. And don't be afraid. All right. Don't be afraid. Know your value, know your worth. So by the time you know your value and know your worth, then you now also take a sample for the and then the market value for the service you want to sell. So you have the market value for the service you want to sell. You know your value, you know your worth. Then now check what you have as an individual. All right. What does it take you to, what does it take you as an individual to invest? Let's assume if it's an hour, to develop the content. What are the resources it will take you? And then put a markup of 30%. When you put a markup of 30% or 20%, depending on you. And this can be applicable to any currency. But for an in-depth, there's actually a stepwise process of of arriving at a MC for coaching, right? Or for consultancy. There's a stepwise process for doing that. That we can give it to you when you come and enroll for a course in Canada Business School. So I said in Fantel Business School. When you come and enroll for a course in Fantel Business School. Yeah, sorry, I worked there. So I think that was in 2005. And I met one of my colleagues just yesterday. But when it comes to Fantel Business School, we'll show you the stepwise process on how to do it. It's a course on its own. It's quite simple. So once you get that, but first of all, always mention for service-based businesses is know your worth, know your worth, know your value. First off, because at times you will price yourself because you're scared that nobody will afford you, right? And at the same time, you don't want to underprice yourself. Once you know your value, those that know your value will come to you first. They will know your value and they will come to you. So don't go and overestimate the content that you don't have. If your value is not up to the standard and you can overprice yourself, you overprice yourself out of the market. And that's why we say know your value, know your worth, and then take into consideration the cost of everything you are putting in together to achieve that result, right? And then once you add that up, you put a markup on it and you get your price. If you want the in-depth analysis, you need to be covered in this free course. So thank you very much. That will be or probably in another course, we can actually treat that. Maybe in another course, we can actually treat that. Okay,
Yeah, thank you for that in-depth
you're welcome.
answer. Yes, at Fantel Business School, we offer series of programs that can help you develop your business, from salesmanship to marketing, customer relationship, customer retention, and also CRM. So, Fantel Business School should be a one-stop for your business inquiry and consultancy.
Okay, I think it's off for a bit. Probably is the network. So, oh, you're muted. You're muted.
Um, okay. I think the network is a bit. Thank God it did not kick me out. All right, all right. Thank you. So if you like to ask any question, please. The floor is still open. You can still go 5 to 10 minutes
We have
before.
about two. It's 9:30 already.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's okay if you don't have any questions. I believe it's okay. It's all right.
All right.
I still have to join in another meeting.
Oh, awesome. Okay. A question just popped in.
I think what we do, we take this one in the Hausa version. When we have having the Hausa version, then we respond to that question. All right. Except if you want to translate it, I would say like to translate it, but else we can.
Thank you very much, Ajia Miriam Ahmed Garba. Please let's the MD, Mr. Hamza Fanda, is also already in the building.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant.
So,
That works well.
so please, can you respond or answer to this query? Thank you.
What
I guess what we
what
can do, we can try.
wacce ba ta iya faɗan kuɗin aiki? Is that the one you want me to respond to?
Yes,
Yes,
that's
the
one.
question in the Q&A box.
To,
Ni ba na
Hajiya,
iya.
na ɗaya dai abin da ya kamata ki fuskanta shine most importantly kullum ya kamata ki san magana ake yau na value. Shine yes, yau da gobe wani lokaci ana gwada hankalin customer. Kuma zai wahala a ce akwai abin da kike sayarwa ko kike yi, mu ɗauka kitso ne.
Please kindly be patient with us for
Okay,
today.
zai matuƙar wahala a ce kina sai da abin da za a ce kai kika fara sai da shi a duniya. So mu ɗauka ma hakan ne. Yau wani ya zo ya zakin ce bayar kawai. Shine barin gwada hankalin customer kenan. Sai biya naira 1,000. Gobe sai wata kika wata aiki. Sai kika ce okay biya ba komai koma nawa ne. Sai ta bada 800. Jibi kika ce biya mu gani. Sai aka biya 2,000. To kin ga with this kin samu 1,000, 2,000, 700. Sai ki taken average ki adin din wannan guda uku sai ki raba gida uku. Balu din da kika samu na kuɗi zaki ce to tunda ni na kasa saka farashi, kwastomomi da kansu sun sa wa abin da nake yi farashi. So daga lokacin kuɗin da kika samu na wannan average da kika ɗauka daga ranar duk wanda ya ce nawa su gaya miki za ki gaya musu. Amma fa wannan yana da alaka da idan hakan ya ma za ki iya tsallakewa. Saboda shi in kana kasuwanci kuma kana karɓan kuɗin da baka iya tsallakewa ko ma'ana baka iya cover ɗin abubuwanka, to wannan kasuwancin kusan ya zama charity kenan. To a takaice dai kusan wanda ke da amfani da wannan damar ko da ki bari abin da suke faɗa ya kasance shine zai sa ki gane farashin da yake nan, ko kuma ki bincika ki ga masu sana irin taki wanne farashi suke sawa, wanda yana da alaka da wanda suke irin takin suna ba da irin quality da kike bayarwa ko sun fi ki quality. So yau da goben kina kalla za ki samu damar da za ki sa farashin da in Allah da zai zama cewa customer ba za su gudu ba, za kuma su auna su ga balin da suke samu na abin da kike ba su yayi daidai da farashin da kika saka. Adalla.
Na gode sosai for so Aja Miriam, I want to believe okay, thank you very much everyone for joining this session. Our facilitator will be joining another meeting. So I want to say, let's do this again on Wednesday. And please put into practice what you have learned today. And let's meet again, inshallah, on Wednesday. Good night to you, everyone, and have a pleasant night rest.